We are in studio with Denny, showing love to the local Minnesota music scene, talking about a plethora of things.
A lot of things.
So off mic, we've discussed Monsters, Inc.
Yes.
We discussed how you saw a dog get hit by the car, but the dog's okay.
Dog is okay.
All right,
I don't know
and
if I
then
believe that the dog is okay.
And yeah, how do you know that? Is it like for sure? Okay.
Gut. Yeah.
I think you're
gut
just
feeling.
telling me that, so I feel okay
I
about it.
bury a lot of things, and that's one of them. Yeah.
Tapped into the spiritual realm like that. Okay. And then my story about a man stealing a car and flipping over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the interview, so it's over
that's it.
now.
I'm sure people are getting a great impression of Minneapolis.
Just-
We are from who are watching this. Like,
I love it. So Denny, we got Randon, Sully, and Alex. Guys, thank you for coming in.
for having us.
Let's get right down to brass tacks. There's snacks.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Break out the snacks.
we will bust down to the important
Now,
things.
was this planned, or did you actually just needed snacks, or did you want to bring snacks as a
I
little
brought
gift?
you so many different kinds of pretzels to try.
We saw our friends Step Rockets bring
Yes.
a bottle of wine at the end, and we were like, let's bring everything at the beginning.
Oh my! You got
Let's
some
bring some
Prosecco?
champagne, some prosecco.
It's Step Rockets. We brought the opener too.
Well, this is pop. You popped the top
We're
on this.
popping this.
Yeah.
Can we?
You don't
Is that,
even
yeah,
open
go
it, pop
for
the
it.
top
Is that
off
okay?
that.
Wait, that's gonna overflow though. What's the other one?
The other one? Oh, we got red wine over here.
Oh my! I kind of want the prosecco.
I mean, yeah, it's rock
Let's
and
do it.
roll.
Let's go
That's
for
why
it.
we
Let's
Man.
got
just
it.
like
This is a little like marketing for us too. We have in our song "Girls Like You." There's a line about champagne, so
And
I like
I was
you
told
know,
we can't smoke cigarettes in here because
No,
there's also
I
a lot of
don't
us
think
in
we
here.
do
the camera there.
can't do that.
Okay, I'm really worried about this because I feel
I'm
like
a
it's
pro.
gonna.
I'm a
Are you?
pro,
But it's
yeah.
gonna overflow though.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna overflow.
It's
Have you
definitely
shake-
gonna
Did you
overflow.
shake it?
What? You have
shake
to
it?
find out.
Well, can we
I
do it
shook
by?
it.
Yeah, we'll do
I'm
it in
really
the
worried.
trash. We'll do it in
I
the
don't know if you
trash.
noticed this. We got this nice Cambria.
Yeah, this is Cambria.
marble.
Okay, hang
You
on.
know how
Yeah.
sturdy that is?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very.
Pop it.
But
if
it's,
it-
feel how not sticky it
It's the
is. Don't get it
sturdiest.
sticky.
I'm gonna pop this over here.
Yes, please do. Yeah, there we go.
I'm a pro.
Yeah. Well,
There it
there.
is.
Did it overflow or
Hey.
not?
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
What am I doing? What am I doing when I do it? Because whenever I pop some prosecco, it always just
You're
Pop,
shaking
popping
it.
too hard. It's got to be
I'm just so
firm
nervous.
yet gentle.
I'm
you
so
know?
amped. To
Hey,
get
one
into
more.
it.
I have more pretzels. We
Oh,
need more.
why
look at that.
pretzels?
That's
Uh,
just Sully's kind of his thing.
Have you had pretzels
Yeah, I've
before?
had pretzels.
They're-
These
they,
ones are
they go.
fine.
If
they
there's
go
any
great
time
with
to bust out that necklace, it's
everything.
right.
Oh, I have pretzels are sort of my thing. I love pretzels.
Okay,
man.
go on. How did
Yeah.
that originate?
It originated because I tried pretzels and they were delicious and they went great with everything that I tried them with. And
End of story.
Set the scene. How old were you? Where were you?
my very
I've
first
never heard
pretzel.
this, by the way.
You've never heard this? Oh man, 12,
How'd you pop the
origin
pretzel?
story.
12 years old. I ran away from home and popped my pretzel at the very first gas station that I found and was like, I am sad, I am alone. Somebody help me. And I tried my first pretzel at this gas station, and since then, it's all I've eaten. It's where I get all of my protein.
All your protein
All
is
my
pretzel
protein
based.
is pretzel based.
That's
It's
not true.
you are what you eat. I am mostly pretzel.
Is there
Thank you.
protein in this?
In
There's like
prosecco,
I think
yeah,
like
2 grams.
Dude,
you have
don't
no
get all
idea
your
how many
protein.
pretzels I eat.
Like you sold me on that. Like this is actually a health food. It's not.
No.
the
Should
less weights you lift, the less protein you have to intake. So
That's
that's
true.
like
Yeah.
crushing it for me
That's
right
true.
now.
Like it's mostly like pretzels and cigarettes, but we're doing champagne and cigarettes because that was a lot catchier.
Yeah. Cheers. So cheers
Yeah.
to Denny.
To us.
Man, Step Rockets is feeling dumb. Man, Prosecco is good.
Ooh.
You want to hear a funny story about
all
Prosecco?
myself.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, okay, it's okay. Senior year of high school, I'm with my family, Christmas morning, and they're having mimosas. My mom's like, Jordan, do you want to have a mimosa? I'm like, you know what, Mom? Sure. And I hadn't really drank up until that point. And so I have some mimosas, and I'm feeling it. And then my mom goes, you never had a good girlfriend. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. And then so I'm off the mimosas. I love them because the orange juice is kind of.
I wish I would have known that.
Dude,
Would have brought
So-
us a variety of juices for you to sample.
dang it, we
No,
were,
dude,
we were
this
halfway
is
there.
fine. So I'm start thinking about it. I think about this friend I have. It's she's a girl, and I've always, there's always been like a small spark, right? Or just that senior year, I was like, you know what? Tonight I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask her out. 'Cause I'm off the mimosas. So
On Christmas Eve.
this is Christmas Day.
Christmas Day Eve.
Oh.
Very bold. So that
Romantic.
that night, I was still drinking mimosas. I go over to her house. Her family's all there. Okay. And I get invited in. I start playing piano for her family, and they love me. Her uncle's like, come to Christmas tomorrow. You're coming. And she's like really awkward about it. And then I get home. I'm like, yes, I killed it, dude. My best friend's my neighbor. He's like, yeah, bro, you killed it, man. You really did a good job. And then she texts me, Jordan, don't ever do that again. So that's my Prosecco story.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
To love lost.
Did you already finish it? Dude,
Yeah.
remember,
Prosecco.
baby steps.
Should we talk about music?
Let's talk about music.
Let's talk about music before I finish the second glass.
All right, let's. So you're the band Denny.
Denny.
It often inspires thoughts of the diner.
Yeah.
Have you run into that?
Oh, yeah.
Any licensing or branding opportunities?
I was like we're gonna have like a Denny's omelet.
And you thought of us.
Yeah,
That's not intentional, but I do love Grand Slams.
they're great. But here's the thing: you guys already ran into a copyright thing with your first
wow,
name,
yeah.
right?
We
So
did.
aren't you kind of?
Yeah, we're not allowed,
we're
we're not
leery.
not
No,
allowed
there's
to
no
say
issue.
the
I
name
mean-
because we can't afford to go to court in the EU again.
We're getting the trademark, so yeah.
For Denny.
Yeah.
For Denny.
Yeah.
But
Not
What-
for anything restaurant or franchise restaurant related.
Okay, so
food
it's
service period.
That would be illegal
Yeah.
of us to do.
But we'd do it if we,
if we really
all
needed
press
to.
is good press, right?
that's true. Kanye West.
Let's go there.
Let's not go there right now. What was the first band name and what was the legal dispute you got into?
So Sully and I met 8 years
8
ago.
years ago, wow.
We were children, and we had a band called Asker, Asker. And there's this Swedish dude named Jonas, or probably Jonas
Yeah.
Asker. And one day I was just sitting around to get this email. It's a cease and desist. I'm like, haha, lol, no way. Delete it. Don't even read it.
Yeah.
And about
Bad
2
move.
weeks later, Spotify, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, all the DSPs that you could imagine were like, hey, your music's getting ripped offline because of this other guy.
Sheesh.
And we took it in stride. And we were like, cool, whatever. Let's start a new band.
It broke me. It completely shattered me.
But it was like kind of at a good time. And then we took some time to figure out what we were doing. And
Yeah.
then so Denny's named after my dad, whose name's Dennis. And Denny, short for Dennis.
I thought it was Dennis Green. I thought it was Denny Green, the coach.
Close second. Personal role model.
All of your heroes are Denny.
The band Denny was who we thought we were.
But I was that happened. We got this cease and desist, and we were like 20, 21 at the time, and just come home from a tour that was terrible. And my dad's like, I texted him, I was like, hey, we got cease and desisted. We're no longer Asker. We got to find a new name. And he laughed. He's like, you should have trademarked that.
That's funny.
And I was like, of course you'd think this is funny.
Looking
and then
back.
here we are.
So you guys weren't really popping off at that. You didn't. The brand wasn't established. The music wasn't really out under Asker. So like,
Oh, it was.
was it?
yeah,
Well, it was out.
yeah,
but like,
yeah,
was it like? Was it
we toured the
materializing?
U.S.
Yeah, we were about to.
What?
We went to 25 different cities
Yeah,
or something
we
like that.
did
We were
25,
ready to like
so-
make a name out of this band,
Yeah.
and it was.
Wow.
We went into it full force. We took a full semester off of school and everything, and like rented a van, drove to Nashville to start the tour,
Oh,
and
man.
like went all around the continental U.S.
The whole thing happened after that, but it was like the biggest blessing ever because I was like, I kind of wanted an out of the whole
like Asker
thing
anymore?
Yeah, I didn't like the whole thing anymore.
A
We tried
fresh
to,
start too. Yeah, we
and it
sort
was
of.
like, and then it took a while to figure it out.
That's well. I'm glad you.
It was a coming of age story.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like what's that movie with Michael Cera and the pregnant girl? It's like Juno.
Oh, you think it's Juno?
yeah.
It's exactly like Juno.
It's exactly like Juno.
pregnant.
Instead of pregnancy, it's a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you have no choice at that point to try to make the most of it because we're
Yeah.
going to do stop making music.
No. Well, we thought about that.
We did for like
And
briefly. It was right after the tour failed. We sort of took a little bit of a hiatus from music to kind of figure it out. It's
3 weeks.
yeah. It was
mean-
three full weeks of not doing music.
In creative time, that's a long time though.
That's like 3 weeks.
Yeah, in actual time.
So how'd you guys bounce back from the cease and desist?
So we had this hazy time, and then I wrote the song, one of Denny's bigger songs, Bloom.
Yes.
And that kind of shook us back into like, oh wait, we should maybe keep doing this. And that's when we met Randon. Actually, he was in the Bloom session at Humans Win Studio in Northeast.
Yes.
Not in
And-
the band yet.
Not in the band, but
In the session.
in the session.
Just at the studio.
was-
Shouts out
I
to
was
Humans
interning.
Win, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They, like, because Step Rockers records there. You guys
Yeah,
do
Chuck.
John Chuck in the class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That studio's popping off because I'm familiar with like I produce beats for one of my friends, and I'm familiar with like the hip hop studios around town, which is usually basements.
Yeah.
And then apparently Humans Win is where all the rock bands go.
Humans Win is legit. Yeah, we've.
Lance is the man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop that before you got to cut the check.
But it's a close knit family around there. And then I was interning at the time, was there for the Bloom session. And then they asked me to play they need a bass player. And I was like,
Like a year later.
It was a year later.
later,
There was a
yeah.
lot of buildup, a lot of sort of back and forth flirting almost. It felt almost like high school where it's like, kind of uncertain about this.
Yeah.
How do I approach you without like making this really,
Yeah,
really
it was just
weird?
like you want to play like for a show, play for a show.
Trying to be casual about it, but on the inside, we're deeply nervous.
Yeah.
So
So
I
you
play-
asked him to prom, and he said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to prom. Actually, no, I did go to prom. Never.
Come on, prom's tight.
I got dumped at prom when I was like,
Go on.
16.
Let's sidetrack again.
so my
So
first
all of our songs
prom,
are about.
It's about that.
Is this night?
specifically about me at 15 or 16. So there was this girl that asked me to prom, and we like had a thing, and then she dumped me, and then her boyfriend dumped her, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go to prom?" After her boyfriend dumped her right before prom, and I was like, "Sure." I said sure, which
Not the strongest answer.
yeah,
It's
very
the
milk
soft- it's the
toast,
softest possible,
lukewarm.
yes.
And then it was at
Mine?
Camp Snoopy. No, have the bottle if you want it. At Camp Snoopy, and then she dumped me at Camp Snoopy.
That's
Wow.
tragic. And
This
then Camp
guy
Snoopy closed.
rode the little shaver by himself all night, and my mom picked me up.
That's terrible.
No, it's cinematic. It's it's a John Hughes film. Almost.
Well, yeah, no, it's very cathartic in that regard, but it sounds terrible.
But I was broken when I was 15.
How are
imagine
you
you-
doing
No,
now?
I was good.
Are you okay?
No, I thought it was hilarious even at that age.
I'm imagining the the log flume. It takes a picture on the final descent. just the
in
picture
tears.
with his sad face,
Yeah.
all by himself.
in an
Only
unfit
one in the
suit with
log.
a big corsage, I was the whole scene.
That is absolutely tragic. Can I have some more Prosecco, please?
All right, so
Thank you.
guys, remember our Go Fest?
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
The first ad,
Inaugural.
Mike Snow, Robert
Yeah.
DeLong,
Junior.
That's
and,
right.
And Denny.
and Denny.
The
We
young
played your
Denny.
song "Bloom Alive."
Yeah, we
during
did.
that time. That was a great show.
Yeah.
Funny story about that show. I was DJing a wedding the night of Go Fest. I booked that wedding before I started working at Go. So I DJed the wedding, and I'm just flooring it back
Yeah.
to get there. And I did.
Did
you
you?
guys killed it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, you were there.
We did
No,
kill
the
it.
wedding was far away, so I was I did it. It was an early one, obviously.
This is a confession. Yeah.
Yeah, and I,
It's a lot to get
Triple-digit
there.
miles per hour.
I ended it 30 minutes early.
Hey, last song, Don't
Good
Stop
call.
Believing. Goodbye.
it was actually the show goes on by Lupe Fiasco.
Okay.
Okay.
It was a lit wedding.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For like
Ironic.
6
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah. That's very early.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we were like the local opener 7 p.m. slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was whipping. But yeah, so since Go Fest, catch us up on
Wow.
your life.
Yeah.
2 years ago already, my lord.
So we released Bloom, and we rode that wave because that song did very well for us on the internet,
A lot
Spotify.
better, honestly, than I think we expected.
Because that song was old when we released it. Like it was a few years. It was a year and a half, 2 years old, and we finally just like, okay, let's screw it, let's put it out, and it hit Fresh Finds and some other Spotify playlists, and yeah, and then basically we just did that, played some shows locally, sold out show with Step Rockets, sold out show with John Chuck that year, Go Fest, and then kind of need to figure out what we were doing
You know what? I saw you guys with John Chuck at
at the entry.
Was it Entry or was it Music City Hall?
I have not played there.
Okay, then it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was the entry.
Yeah, it was the entry thing, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was the Entry.
Yeah.
For their headliner, right?
Yeah, the release show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Young Denny.
Yes. I
Yeah.
didn't make my way to introduce you guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't know if they know me from Go, so I was really timid. And
I know you now.
Yes,
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah.
And you guys just released a new song, Something Furious.
Yes.
You know what's odd about that? When I saw you guys release that song, I've said the term "something furious." Like, so where did the title come from? Did you steal it from me? My
I
Twitter.
stole it from. I was scanning your Twitter about 3 years ago.
Copyright infringement again?
And-
Dude, we can't go back to court. No,
Yeah.
no more of
And I
this.
saw it and I was like, I need that. So I stole it without asking. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can use it.
But it comes from. It's everything I write is kind of sarcastic, a little bit sarcastic, and it comes from being like an angsty teen. Even though I was raised in the wealthy suburbs, and like I felt angst. And looking back, I'm like, I had everything, but I was fighting it.
Hindsight's 20/20 like that, though.
Is it? Yeah.
And recognizing that's also. Do you think so? Recognizing that, I guess, for lack of a better word, that privilege.
Yeah.
Does that affect your songwriting? Like how?
Yes. Yeah. A lot. Yeah.
In what ways? How do you? What's your perspective
Irony,
on that?
I guess, of like I thought, and with that song, it was like I'm angsty. I'm an angsty teen. I'm fighting whatever I can fight, but I really haven't made. And now that I'm older, like man, I had it made.
Yeah, the perspective that you have now is completely different than what you
Yeah.
thought back then.
Yeah.
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 Time flies when you're learning and growing.
Yeah.
So Something Furious, instrumentally, I can't quite pick up on what it sounds like. 'Cause I'm always trying to come up with similarities. I know genre is this archaic kind of term we throw around nowadays. So I try to think of things like, what does this remind me of? And I don't quite know what you guys remind me of. Do you guys have like an influence or?
We have a lot.
Well, what's the mashup?
The mashup is like, I mean, here's the thing. Denny is the band I always wanted to exist. I'm a kid who grew up loving like Queen and the Beatles and like English rock, like Radiohead, all that stuff. But now I listen to like a lot of R&B and hip hop, and so that's never existed for me, and I wanted to create that, and that's kind of like why I started writing this like music, or I started writing this stuff.
Are you guys your favorite band?
Denny's my favorite
that's
band.
what we're aiming to be. Is the kind of music that we want to listen to, that we want to exist.
I mean, I know a lot of artists who don't listen to their own music, and I'm like, why would you not listen to your own music? I create this so I can jam out to it in my car because I've always wanted this to exist, and now it does.
Right, it's the kind of music that we would want to listen to. Listen.
You know what silent is?
Come on.
That was a
Major market radio interview.
I just ruined the moment. I am so sorry. Yes, Denny writes the music that we want to exist in the world. We write the stuff that we enjoy listening to.
That's great. I wish more local artists would take that approach because there's something about being a local artist. There's kind of a humility about it, or an overconfidence where it's like, yeah, I'm dope, check me out, or it's like, oh yeah, I make music on the side, but I think you guys have like you guys should strive to make the music you want to listen to. Like if you don't listen to your music, who's gonna listen to your music?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't listen to my own show because I can't. It's long.
I listen all the time.
Yeah. Imagine writing a song that you hate though. Like how bad would that be to like write a song and be like, this song gets huge. It's the song everyone's listening to, but it's a song that you can't stand.
You think that's how the phrase feels about how to save a life?
I bet.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably not actually.
I mean, at the same time though, you write that one song that gets you big. It's like you have, the lottery ticket. This is the way that I've heard it described. I can't remember who described it. I think David Gray that said like, if you write that one song, and it's like your hit, do you ever get tired of playing that song? It's like winning the lottery, being like, hate that lottery ticket.
Not that we've had any hits as big as David Gray, obviously.
Yeah. For some reason, when I was thinking about like a band with a big song and always like riding back on that song, I kept thinking about Kid Rock and Bow It to Bob.
Yeah, my mind went there too.
I had to attribute the quote properly because I like to cite my sources. That's all it was. Yes.
APA, MLA,
I'm a
or
Chicago guy.
style.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chicago
I'm
style.
a Chicago guy. Yeah.
Bold.
Oh,
Very bold.
MLA.
All right, so every night at 10 o'clock, I do this thing. It's called the 2 at 10. It's when we play the same band or artist back to back. Since you guys are here, should we play your music back to back?
Let's do it.
All right, let's start out with something furious. So one more time, let's rehash. What's the song about and how did it come about?
It's about being an angsty teen, looking back on that several years later, and realizing you had everything. It's ironic. It's sarcastic.
I love it. Now, do you want to intro your song on the radio?
Yeah, let's do it.
Give it a shot. Go.
All right, we're Denny, and this song is called Something Furious
On what station?
on Go 96.3.
Dude, you're so good at that.
I've practiced.
You succeeded at
Thank
practicing.
you. Cheers.
Going local with Denny on the 2 at 10. That is their new song, Something Furious. Is that attached to an album yet?
We are, yes.
That's right. You're in LA. You're about to go out to LA.
About to go to
finish it
LA,
up.
finish a record, next month.
Yo, how's it feel to be like some Midwestern kids in the throes of the music industry in
It's
LA?
somewhere between sensory overload and exactly what I expected and wanted.
It is loud out there. It turns out, yeah.
Is it smelly? I feel like it smells.
You get a little bit of that like asphalt oil smell when you're on the
A
highway
little
for
bit
3
of
hours.
that like
but yeah.
CO2 kind of coating your
love
lungs
it.
on the way home.
Okay.
The smog.
It's better because New York has a smell, kind of like it's a light
New York has a
stench.
smell.
Yeah.
LA has a scent.
Okay. That's not bad.
Differential.
Yeah, it's a cologne that you don't want to wear. Straight up. All right, let's go into song number 2. A song we played back when you guys played our Go Fest 16, Bloom. Same thing. Where'd the song come from? What's it about?
The song's about watching our dreams fall apart when we were teenagers and being angry, I guess. Yeah.
I see a theme.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Do you want to intro it again?
Yeah, let's intro it. This is Bloom by the world famous rock band Denny on Go 96.3 FM.
You're getting so good at that. All right, I see 2 at 10 with Denny going local with their song Bloom. Guys, round of applause for yourselves. Let's go. Yo, thank you guys so much for bringing the Prosecco.
Yeah.
Of course.
I am a lightweight, so I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And the pretzels, so thank you. I appreciate
Of course.
it. Where can we find you guys on social media?
We are at Denny the Band on everything.
DENNY.
DNNY the Band.
Not at Denny's the Diner.
Not Denny's the Diner.
Denny's the
Common
Band.
misconception, but not really a common misconception. But yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.